microphone. It's
Okay, anyways. Hello everyone, I am Kinnin11, and this is Wolf Game, or Okami, and we are going to be playing this game New Game Plus, so we're starting from a fresh New Game Plus file. And why is Emrak? Okay, good, Emrak isn't crashing, good. So I'll just count down, I guess. Are you ready? I'll take that as a yes. In 3, 2, 1, go. So, Okami is a pretty cool game for the PS3, and the PS2 and the Wii. Don't get the Wii version; it's the worst version. I'll say that up front. And we play this New Game Plus because first of all I can skip all the cutscenes, and second of all I can use a glitch that completely breaks this game right open. So in Okami we play as a wolf god. This is us. This is Amaterasu, or Ami. And the basic story is that we have, there's this giant demon that has, like, been unleashed upon the world, and we have to collect brush powers to try and defeat him. Basically. The thing you might notice from the start is that there's these flowers going behind me. This is called speed. This is what we like to call speed. There are 3 different speed, walking, half speed and full speed. And in full speed, we like to try and keep full speed as much as possible. So here we got ourselves our first brush power. It is restoration. And what it does, it basically restores things to what they were, slash makes them, like, how do you say that? Replaces things that are missing. Those are the keywords. And we use that to restore this river back to its former glory so we can go through it. You might notice me like dashing at the start of like each area. That basically gives me half speed, and after about 10 seconds you gain full speed. And a thing that I'm also going to be doing a lot, if you really notice, is that I'm going to be jumping in and out of cutscenes. Now for some reason, when you jump into a cutscene, the game stores your speed. And when you jump out of that cutscene, you can restore that speed. Hence why we call it speed restoration. I won't be doing it everywhere because in some places it's not worth it. But I'll be doing it as much as possible. Here we have the next brush power. So as you might notice, with the brush we can manipulate the world. We got Power Slash, and with it we can like cut things, which is really nice. It's casually one of my most used brush powers because it would just cut everything, including enemies. You might have noticed that I went really far to the left just now. That is to skip a cutscene, skip a fight trigger. The thing about triggers in this game is that they are either really, really large or really, really small. I just skipped another fight, for instance, by just simply walking around the trigger. And I'll be skipping a lot of things in the future with that method as well. How does drawing work? You basically just use the left analog stick to draw things, and it's honestly a lot more consistent than motion controls. Can tell you that much. So the reason why we're in this tutorial section is to get the power slash so we can slash open a fruit containing the souls of the village that we're trying to save. There's the fruit. You saw it fall down. And you saw it fall down again. However, things are still a little bit awry, as you can see by this beautiful green tones. I like green though, it's a nice color. We're gonna talk to this statue, because this is all brushes. And 90% I would skip this. So what is all brushes? I'll explain that later, actually. There's a cool trick coming up. You better keep your eyes peeled for now, but you'll be seeing this trick a lot through the run. At least 250 times, to be exact. I'll do it, and then I'll explain what happened. There we go, first try. So, what just happened? In New Game Plus, you get these items called Karmic Transformers. What they do is they're basically skins for Amaterasu. And by switching a Karmic Transformer while in mid-air, the game thinks you're on the ground for like 1 or 2 frames. We're still not sure about that. And, excuse me. And if you press the square button, so the dash button, during that 1 or 2 frames, you get a dash. And out of that dash, you can jump. So we basically have an infinite jump glitch. And we will be using this to completely break open the game and just destroy everything. It's a pretty cool trick. And we'll be seeing this a lot. Like, a lot. So here we are jumping into the fight, and we're gonna do more New Game Plus things, because with New Game Plus you also get a certain set of items that continue on. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna equip weapons and some special items, and I'm gonna use what is called an Exorcism Slips. Now, Exorcism Slips deal a lot of damage to all enemies in the battle arena. By using those, and they carry over from New Game Plus, so we basically just have a stock of 80 plus of those, and we'll be using those to simply cheese just about every fight. There are a couple of boss fights where we can't use slips like that, but a lot of them we do just use slips. Another item you might have seen me equip is the string of beads. Now what the string of beads does, it gives me infinite health and allows me to infinitely use the brush wherever I see fit. It also gives me like 10 times attack power, so from this point on, every single fight will basically be a giant cheese fest. So I hope you guys like cheese. I sure do like cheese. I love cheese. Cheese is amazing. You'll be seeing it a lot. Also circle. So this is a pretty fun thing. You're supposed to have the sunshine brush power here, but for some reason the game allows you to just draw a circle there and it'll trigger even though you don't have the brush. Well, technically you do, but you sort of don't. So you're supposed to have triggered the sunshine brush power thing before, but we haven't done that yet. So about all brushes, in any percent we actually skip about 5 brush powers, I think more. There are 13. But in all brushes we have to get every single brush power and all of their upgrades as well. So that takes about an hour longer than just skipping through everything, which is pretty crazy. Also, this is my favorite part. Su! Sa! No! Susanoo! Now for exploding implosion, because that's totally how those things work. Okay, so now everyone please spam ball please, because this ball is the bane of every Okami runner. It's really shitty. It has really precise collision checking, and that makes it really hard to control. Oh, so we skip 8. Okay. Listen to Darkness. Darkness knows best. That was actually a really good ball. It was a little bit hard at going out of the gate, but it went fine. So now we have to draw another sun, even though we don't have the sun ability yet. That still works, because the game is nice to us. And that'll give us our next brush power, which is called Bloom. And this is what Bloom does, if I can actually draw a circle. There we go. It blooms these trees. So about these trees, In the story of the game, like, the world is cursed and we have to restore these trees to their blooming thingamajig to restore the lands, basically. It's called a Great Restoration. Here I'm gonna do another infinite jump, or KT glitch as we like to call it. Or just KT. Okay, that was shit. To skip over a fight, we just jumped over a fight trigger right there, so that was pretty nice. So here we have that one fight at the start again, but I don't want to do it, so I'm just gonna walk around it. There we go. That was hard. Hard fight, guys. It was a really hard skip to do, but we got it. Remember the silk brushes. So, now that we have the bloom power, we can do this real quick. So, in any percent we would like skip going to Kamiki Village again, but now we actually have to go back. Now remember, we skipped going going to destroy the boulder. Like, the boulder is still there. So that's gonna cause some weird things happening when we enter Kamiki Village. We are going to be spawning inside of the boulder. So we have to escape the boulder first. Of course we have our trusty KT glitch to do that for us. There we go. And now we have to draw a bunch of circles to get a brush power. And my biggest problem is that I am horrible at drawing circles, so this is going to be a great time. Wow, this is actually going well. So for anyone who has played this game and knows this minigame, you know that it's really annoying. Well, because we never actually restored the village properly, the lady doesn't chase us. She's supposed to chase us, but she's made of stone right now. Stupid bird. But we can still talk to her and everything. And we basically just cheat our way through this minigame. Nice and easy. So doing that sets up a story arc later on, so right now we don't really have any use for it except for setup. More tree blooming. There we go. And now we're gonna finally learn the first brush power, which is Sunrise. Ta-da! It's the sun. Here comes the sun. Again, cheesing the fight. Cheese. My favorite cheese is actually Old Gouda, because I'm Dutch. Anyways, now we're gonna talk to this guy, and because we bloomed all of the trees in Kamiki, we can go and bloom the Great Konohana tree, which is the guardian spirit of this village. And she's quite pretty, if you ask me. It actually doesn't matter how fast I do these blooms. Because it's all like it's all on the music, so I can just take my time and just draw quietly and slowly. I like to draw it quickly though, it's good practice. Nice little rumble at the end. So now we've restored Kamiki back to its proper state. And the only real reason why we did that is because we wanted a new brush power. This is a lily pad. And with lily pad we can draw circles on water, and that gives us a lily pad, which we can stand on. There are a few cases where we actually do use that, but it's pretty funny because even in like new game without the infinite jump glitch, we can skip using lily pad altogether. There we go. We have to skip the boulder again. So now we're gonna go to a certain place in Shinshu Field, and the only real reason why we go there is because we want to make it night, so we can get another brush power. We're gonna go over there, to Mika's shrine. Now Mika has a slight problem with monsters, and he gives us a list of monsters to defeat. We will never complete that list because it's too much work, really. And I got a pretty bad spawn. You can sometimes try sniping these, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna play it safe. Yeah, I'm 100% on KT so far, but I think I'm gonna fail my first one soon, because I always fail that one. So we cross off his name off the list, and that will be the only name we cross off. Good luck, Mika. You can fix things on your own, can't you? So, don't worry, we're not gonna drown. We barely have enough air to do this part like that. And now we're gonna do another skip of a fight. At least I'm gonna attempt it. See, that's the first miss KT. I might be above the water. Nope. Nope, I missed the skip. Damn. So that trigger is ridiculously large. Unlike the other triggers I was talking about. It is enormous. So you have to go all the way to the right to try and skip it. And it loses about 10 seconds if you fail the skip. So this is Tama. Tama has a slight problem, and he doesn't want to make fireworks anymore. So we're gonna help him out and make him a beautiful firework, which gives us Cherry Bomb. Now you can have 3 guesses as to what Cherry Bomb does. It creates a bomb. Amazing, isn't it? So because we failed the skip, we don't have to do the second part of the skip, because we still have to jump over the trigger on the way back. And it's an enormous trigger, so... So now we're kind of done with Shinshu Field. We've done all the things we wanted to do here for now. We'll be returning here later for some small things. But for now we're going to go over to Agata Forest. Now, the way the game wants you to go to Agata Forest is to use Lily Pad. But there's actually a glitch, which is called Corner Glitch, which does this. If you're in the water and you go into a corner, the game will give you an auto jump, and you can basically just skip using Lily Pad using that auto jump. And that's the way how you just skip using Lily Pad altogether in New Game, because it works in both New Game and New Game Plus. So Agata is also cursed, so we're gonna fix that by blooming this beautiful tree. Wow. This tunnel is the devil, by the way. You lose speed so quickly in it, and it's pretty obnoxious. So here I am skipping another fight. There we go. Nice. Still going slightly a way around because that is a pretty big, it's a pretty big, what's it called? Pretty big trigger. So here I'm jumping up to trigger a mermaid spring. Now what mermaid spring does is they're basically fast travel points later on. And it's important you actually trigger them. If you don't, then, well, you can't travel to them at all. So that is an important thing, and I have lost runs to accidentally not triggering that mermaid spring in the past. It costs a lot of time. So here I did a liquid KT, as it's called. It's different than a normal KT. Normal KTs, you have to press the square button at a certain time to be able to get the dash. But for liquid KTs, you just have to dash close to the water's surface. And by doing that, you just get a jump for free. Sure, I'll take that. You just switch your KTs in the dash and you get a jump. It's pretty useful. So this is Takapas. Takapas is also cursed, but we can't actually... It's actually funny because we can actually jump up to the tree right now and try blooming it. However, you are unable to actually bloom the tree. For some reason, we have to go here and fight against Waka, which is a very exciting fight. That was the fight. Now, however, in the Japanese Wii version, and only in the Japanese Wii version, we can skip this fight. Why in the Japanese Wii version? We have no idea. Honestly. It's not on the English Wii version, by the way. So now we go over here, and now we can finally jump up to the tree. There we go. And we've bloomed Takapas. Now, I'm sure you guys all love minigames. I sure do. Minigames are great. So we're gonna go over to one of my least favorite minigames. It can be kind of annoying. This is Moly Game. The way you do Moly Game is quite easy. You just bash the blue Moly. Like that. You can actually see where he's going. Okay, now I can't because he went to the middle. Whenever he crosses paths with another mole, he will take the path of the other mole. So he's gonna appear there. And that way you can kind of predict where he's going. But when they all go into the center like that, you just have to look. And we got ourselves a teapot. Now we give this teapot to this beautiful tea master. And the tea master gives us a golden mushroom, because mushrooms are golden, apparently. And we'll be using that golden mushroom a little later on to get a brush upgrade, which we need for the definition. Now we're gonna travel over here, and there is a demon gate. Now what demon gates do is you run under them and you go into an unrunnable fight. But we want this specific fight because we want to get ourselves something special here. Again, charging up speed this time to store it. So we just activated the Mermaid Spring of Takapas, which will be very useful later on. And now we're gonna go over to Sasa Sanctuary. Now what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to go to Kusa Village and do a lot of quest stuff before you're able to go inside of Sasa Sanctuary. However, there's a very specific thing in this game when it comes to its maps, and you'll be seeing that in a bit. So we're gonna jump out of bounds here, and jump like that. This should be a good angle. 1, 2. Now the thing is about interior areas in this game is that they are below exterior areas. So by jumping out of bounds, you can literally just fall into the inside of Sasa Sanctuary, where you're not supposed to go yet. It's pretty amazing. Now, you guys said that you liked minigames. Well, here's another minigame. It's a digging minigame. We will be digging ourselves a new hot spring. So the way you play this game is you try to go down to the ground as quickly as possible, and you try to take the old man with you because he needs to show you where you need to dig for the hot spring. Oh yeah, we have a bark button, by the way. There we go. We got ourselves a new hot spring. And that gives us a new brush power, which is called Water Spout. Now what Water Spout does, it allows us to control water. Basically. Like this. There we go. And like this. Amazing, isn't it? Let's see if I can... So we water spout that tumble thing to press a button that will open a door, because that's totally not convoluted or anything. And now we're gonna go into an area. Now, we're completely, absolutely not supposed to be here yet, at all. But the game will allow it anyways. That thing that's floating in front of me right now is the canine tracker. It is used to track canines of a specific kind. I think we might have found one. There we go. Hey, it's a dog inside a bamboo shoot. And now that dog wants to fight us. Because reasons. I'll explain a little later on what I'm doing here. But remember this is pretty cool. Ah! I got decent RNG on the dog, but the beats were bad. So yeah, about the weapons I'm carrying. I'm carrying a pretty giant sword. You can charge that sword and it deals a lot of damage. So we use that. That's why we use that one. And we use beads on our secondary. They're basically shotgun blasts that deal a lot of damage. They're pretty useful for certain enemies, like the dogs, but I got bad RNG on them. Because the spread is just completely RNG, and you can just miss an enemy completely. So here Mr. Bamboo gives us a specific item called a mermaid coin. Now with mermaid coins we can finally use the mermaid spring to fast travel around, which is really useful because this game is big. It's a really big game. So being able to fast travel is nice. Now we're finally going to Kusa Village. I'm going to take a drink. That loading zone doesn't look right. So this is Kusa Village. It's been cursed. I am currently unable to use my brush powers. And if I wasn't wearing the string of beads, my ink would slowly run out. Now, because we talked to Mr. Bamboo, we can buy ourselves more Mermaid coins. I just buy 11 because I have a lot of money, so from New Game Plus. It's pretty easy. Just beat the game, get money, and then have a ton. Now this is Princess Fuse. She's in trouble because she's been possessed by demons. And we're gonna use exorcism slips to exorcise those demons. Hey. Again, I'm charging speed up to restore it a little later on. Now we're gonna get a lot of backstory about a certain evil dude that we're never going to beat. Maybe one day. And we get ourselves the canine tracker, because we want to go into the Gil Shrine, but it's been locked away. So we need the 8 Satomi power orbs from these dogs. Hello, dog. Would you like to eat something? Now, remember that earlier I fought against one of these kinds of dogs. So right now what the game is thinking is that I have already obtained one of the dogs here. You're supposed to obtain 4 dogs before you're able to go to the 5th one here. Ah, lost speed. Now these dogs want food, they don't want to fight. They're nice dogs. Just give them some meat and they'll be on their way. It's a pretty long side quest. Good peacock timing. This patch of grass is pretty annoying usually. I'm gonna take it a little safe. That's too early. There we go. So now we've fed 3 dogs, but the game thinks we fed 4 dogs. So rather than having to go feed the 5th dog right now, the 4th dog right now, we can just go instantly to the 5th dog. This also creates something useful little after. So this is the 5th dog. It's called Tai, or Tay, however you want to say it. I like to call it Tai because I'm Dutch. And I'm just gonna mash these because, wow, I'm getting great beat luck. So this is what the RNG with beads can do. You can just shoot away in any direction. Now remember that I still have to feed an extra dog, so we're gonna do that right now. I'm too far away. Now what that does is, after having fed the dog, we will warp to the place where the dog was supposed to be. Which saves us a little bit of movement. Which is pretty cool. Doesn't save too much time, but a good 20 seconds I reckon. Probably more. So we need 8 Satomi power orbs, and we only have 6 right now, so we're gonna go back down and find the other dogs a little later. But not before we do some more sequence breaking. I like sequence breaking. A small note, by the way, I'm completely, like, going out of order in this game. The first 4.5 minutes of the game are the only 4.5 minutes of the game we actually do in order. Every other part is just completely sequence breaked until the end. And even, like, the end, we're there just too early, so. So you're supposed to go to Agata Forest and then Kamiki Village to grab some dogs, like to talk to them and to get their Satomi power orb so we can get into Gil Shrine. But I would like to go somewhere else first. So we're gonna go to City Checkpoint here, and we're gonna do a beautiful little skip here. So a while back, I went into the water and I swam into a corner, which gave us an auto jump. We're gonna use that corner glitch again to go to a place where you're not supposed to go. Right here. Ah, damn it. So here I do what is called a bonk KT. It works almost the same as a... oh, damn it. As a liquid KT, where I just bonk against the slope. Actually, it's a slope KT, but we bonk into the slope. If you're against a slope and you switch KTs, you'll be able to get another jump as well, without having to time a dash press, which is pretty nice. That wasn't the greatest city checkpoint skip, but we managed. So again, we're completely not supposed to be here yet at all, but we are, because we like sequence breaking. So this is Ryushima Coast, or Ryoshima Coast, however you want to call it. And it's been cursed as well, so we better find that tree and restore it. We're gonna go into this cursed zone real quick. So in this cursed zone, I will slowly but surely die, and I cannot use any brush powers. The only reason why we do this is so we can run around another fight trigger, because we don't like fights, they're slow. So here I actually have the right brush power to go in to this section, but it's slower, so we just KT up here. And by doing this, we can skip one of the basins. And we can give water to this little sapling that will soon grow into a tree. Boom. And now we shall bloom that tree. So here we're gonna do something really cool. This stair is really well made. You can just clip through it like that. And remember that interior areas in this game are below exterior areas. So here we are going to fall into a dojo. Like so. Now in this dojo we'll be getting a very useful upgrade, or technique rather, which is called Holy Eagle. Now what Holy Eagle is quite simply a double jump. This basically cuts the amount of KTs we have to do in half, so it's really useful to get as quickly as possible, because we don't like doing that many KTs in a row. So now we're gonna learn another technique from Onigiri-sensei. It's called Digging Champ. Now we need Digging Champ later on to get an upgrade for a brush power. So getting it is pretty important in the run. You can lose minutes if you forget to do this. And because we don't get this in any percent, you can forget it if you switch categories too often. So now we're done here. And a pretty useful thing about going out of bounds like that is that we skip movements going to and from the dojo. Here I'm trying to save as much save speed. Did I do it? Yes, I managed. Okay, so right there on the top of that bridge there's another fight trigger. And we're gonna skip it. Again. Well, it's a pier actually, not a bridge, but whatever. That was late. There we go. And we're gonna go into Scion City. Now there's a pretty big problem with Scion. It's there's this weird fog that's making everyone sick. We might fix that later on, I'm not sure. First we're gonna do another cool thing. Oh, come on. I'm using the map to check my position because, again, I'm falling out of bounds. To go into an interior area. This interior area actually doesn't exist yet. Only under the exterior map. And here we're getting ourselves an upgrade to a brush power we don't even have yet. But for some reason, the game allows it. The things I'm selecting during the pauses are called karmic transformers. They're basically skins for Amaterasu, and hence the name KT or KT glitch. So this is a beautiful bridge that we will never raise ever. It'll stay down like this because we can just simply jump over here using our infinite jump glitch. The way you're supposed to do this is you're supposed to get water back into the city, and then you have to do a fishing minigame, but that's just too much trouble. Ah, dang. I messed up speed here, so I kinda didn't know what to do. I'm supposed to have full speed here, but we're just gonna do this. Also, this is this is Boop Lady. Say hello to her. She has 2 very big plus points, you can say. So again, we're not supposed to go here, so that like gully you see down there actually does not have a bottom. If I fall through there, I will go out of bounds. So I need to be very careful about that. Now, the Emperor's been really sick, and this is the Emperor's Palace, so we're gonna check up on him, see how he's doing. I'm sorry. I'm a little bit coffee. Oh hey, there's the Emperor. Hello, Emperor. And the Emperor allows us to buy the Fog Pot. Now the Fog Pot is an upgrade to a brush power we don't have yet. Now what the upgrade does is it gives us another means of fast travel. So now we have 2 means of fast travel, which is really useful. So we can optimize where what kind of fast travel we use. Oh, I forgot strats. That's kind of bad. I have to do an extra KT now. If I could get one to start with. Hello? Thank you. So Boob Lady was actually looking for these slips, so we're gonna give Boob Lady these slips. Her actual name is Rao, but we like to call her Boob Lady. Or Titty Lady, that's also a thing you can say. We allow both. We're generous speedrunners. Now the only real reason we do this is to set up a quest for a little later on. She asks us to search for some treasure with her, and we'll be doing that later. Wow, I lost speed through that? Dang. So now we're done with Scion City. We set up a bunch of triggers, we got some rush powers. Excuse me. And now we are going to go to Agata Forest. Yes, I like to call her Boob Lady. I mean, have you seen them? So we're just gonna leave Scion to rot in mist like that. Nothing we can do about that, really. That's too early, Darkness. Way early. Down one. So we're gonna fast travel to Agata. Because we had some, we went to Kusa Village, there's a nice and beautiful sake barrel here, which we're gonna fill with spring water. Sadly though, this attracts some demons, so we need to defeat them. Luckily, we have our great hero, Susano, helping us out. You leave my Kushi alone. So for people who have played this game, you might have noticed that I've skipped doing the fishing minigame. We'll be finally doing the fishing minigame, but because we've been sequence breaking a lot, some cool stuff is going to happen. So here we get asked like to help catch the legendary Whopper who ate the moon and stuff like that. So sure, why not? We're gonna help Kokari. We're gonna help Kokari catch a giant fish called the Whopper. So the way fishing works is you hold the opposite direction of the fish, press a button, and then power slash set fish. You first have to draw a line though. So this should be Whopper right now, so. Well, that is definitely a Whopper of a salmon though. So what the game does here, it has to work through two triggers at once, one for the Whopper and one for the giant salmon. The Whopper gives us another brush power called Crescent, which we can use to make it night at any time we want. But at the same time, we've also finished the trigger for the giant salmon, which gives us a key to a dungeon. So we did 2 triggers at once, basically. So, as you can see, I'm holding this weird thing that's usually not supposed to happen after this part. I think I've lost speed. It's kind of bad. But we actually don't need the key at all. The key is slow because it has a giant cutscene attached to it. Instead, we have this really cool infinite jump glitch. Which we can use to simply fall into the load trigger that's behind it. Now this is S2CTW runes. Again, we're gonna be sequence breaking this entire dungeon. You're supposed to climb up slowly by going places. But instead we're gonna go over here. And no darkness, I'm not going for Kinnin11. And we're gonna go into this section, where we have a bunch of demon gates that we have to destroy. Again, just simply charging speed, so we can quickly go to the next gate. Loving the cheese. Now that we've done that, we got some mushrooms over there, and we're gonna draw a sun, and hope we get a cutscene skip. And we didn't get a cutscene skip. So this cutscene you can actually skip, but the skip prompt is only available for like a frame or 2. So we haven't found any way to get that consistent, so we just mash and hope for the best. It loses about 18 seconds if you feel it, so it's a decently big deal. You can cut these pots from down here. The game expects you to go all the way around and stuff like that, but if you know where the pots are, you can just cut them. And by cutting the pots, we get a beautiful, clear water. Now the game like tells you can go down the waterfall, but going down a waterfall is slow, so I just jump up here and fall down here into the center of S2CTW ruins. There we go. And this gives us another brush power. Now this brush power is called Vine, and what it does is this. If I can actually draw. We can create vines from those flowers to those objects and to certain objects, and those objects will get pulled towards the flower. It's a pretty nice ability, and I lost speed, didn't I? Yep, I did. So here I'm skipping another cutscene by simply jumping over the trigger. Like that. Easy as pie. Where do we go next? Okay, yeah. So, a little while ago we fought against a dog, and remember that we still have the quest open where we have to collect 8 Satomi power orbs before we are able to go into Gil Shrine. Now here I'm going to use the second fast travel method that we bought, basically. This is how you use the fog pot. And we're gonna use that to travel to Kamiki. I'm gonna make it night as well, because we want to talk to this dog. And this dog will only talk to us at night. Nice, we got good RNG finally. Actually restored speed there, didn't think that would happen. So now we have all 8 of the Satomi power orbs. So we're gonna go back to Kusa village so we can go into the Guild Shrine. See if I can get some half-second time saves here. Ah, dang it, I lost speed. So first we're gonna go over to Princess Fusei and tell her that we got all the Satomi power orbs. She will say like, hey, I'm gonna go into the Guild Shrine now, but the orbs are like, hey, we've got this like amazing god that is just basically unbeatable. Let's help her out instead. Or let's help it out instead, if I'm going to be exact about genders here. So this is Guild Shrine. In any percent, this would be like a very big moment, because we would be doing 100 of those KT glitches in a row. So that's 100 frame perfect tricks in a row, and it wears on you a lot. Luckily, because we have to do the side quest to open this door, we can just skip that and just go through here normally. Like, we are forced to do the side quest, so. So now we get to go through Guild Shrine. We're still not gonna do it the intended way, of course, because, well, for a little bit, maybe. So we killed that demon, and it gives us a key. And what do keys do? They open things. Isn't that amazing? But I don't like this key that much, so I'm just gonna drop it in the water. There we go. Heck that key. It's annoying. Key, I said you were annoying. Go away. Stupid key. Wow, what a persistent key. It's back in my mouth again. Seriously. So this is a nice little elevator. The way you're supposed to go here is like you need to go up 1, then all the way down, and then up 2. However, instead of doing that, we will be making use of our infinite jump glitch over here. Be a little quiet. This is a lot of KTs in a row. Well, not a lot, but enough. sorry Sid, but that key isn't square enough. There we go. We just clipped through the underside of this platform to go and get Gilstorm. Now you can have 3 guesses what Gilstorm does. Now you can already see it because we're supposed to do it here. So with Gilstorm we can summon Wind. And it's another brush power, which we need. Yeah, that wasn't gonna work. I always mistime this one specifically because it's at a weird timing. It takes a little longer than I expect every single time. So instead of walking all the way down and like doing annoying things, we're just going to jump out of bounds and fall all the way down into Gil Shrine again. Okay, that almost messed up. I was a little too far to the left, so I had to compensate a lot. And you're supposed to actually go and fight against the boss now, but we don't have to. So we'll just leave, I guess. Sure. The dogs are strong enough, they can deal with that boss. We don't have to defeat it. So the reason why through the story you have to defeat him is to get a certain item that will allow you to break a barrier to another dungeon that we'll be traveling to right now, actually. However, you will soon see why we don't need to get that item. Traveling back to Shinshu Field. Okay, it's like a slight audio delay. So we're gonna go over here now, and we're gonna travel to the Moon Cave, which just happens to be my least favorite place. It's my favorite place because the route is amazing, but it's kind of a pain to go through. So I'll probably quiet up a little bit during the entirety of Moon Cave. So by getting that item we can remove this barrier, but we don't have that item, so instead we just do 5 KTs straight up. 2. Because the barrier is pretty high. 3. 4. 5. That was decent. And we just fall into the loading zone, like that. First we have to go inside of Moon Cave here into the Calcified Cavern. Now in the Calcified Cavern you're supposed to go all the way to the back and grab an imp mask so you can go past these 2 guards over here. But that takes time. It takes a lot of time actually. Ooh, blind KT. kind of screwed now because my camera is pretty off. Mechanically doing KTs and moving the camera is pretty hard for me because I do them in a specific way that doesn't allow me to move the camera quite freely. So some of my camera movement during KTs might be a little bit erratic. So this is the moon cave. We will be doing the moon cave completely out of order. So any order you thought that this place would have, no. It's not intended at all. We're gonna go over here. So the way you are supposed to go through Moon Cave is you're supposed to talk to the chef, and he says that the great boss of this place called Orochi wants an appetizer. Maybe if I could slash that, that would be nice. And we have to collect 4 ingredients before we're able to. Before he can make that appetizer for him. Now the only real reason why we're here is because we want a brush power. But the problem with this place is that once you enter it, you have to defeat the boss to be able to leave again. So we have to complete the appetizer. So we just got an ogre liver. Which sounds quite appetizing if you ask me. And now, what's coming up next is the reason why this is my least favorite place. Welcome to Moon Cave, where the ceilings don't exist. And the walls don't matter. So this is Out of Bounds Moon Cave. It's quite a pretty place. Trying not to go too high here or too far to the right so I can skip some triggers. So you can hit some triggers and get set back by a lot. So by defeating this guy, we will get a new brush power, which is called Inferno. Now we already have the upgrade to this brush power, and we can already use it if we want to. There we go. That's what Inferno does. It's pretty cool. So next we're gonna backtrack just a little bit. And of course we're gonna do that out of bounds style, because doing it inbounds is boring. Yeah, I went way early for that. Should never do that, unless I'm going for world record runs. There we go. I am a pansy and I don't do that first try, because I'm bad. So here you're supposed to use a cannon to shoot through this wall, but as I already said, walls don't matter and ceilings don't exist. Ah, dang it. You can actually skip this trigger, but I went a little bit not far enough. That lost me some time. So because we already have the upgrade, we can just use it here. And I used it incorrectly. Cool. Wasn't close enough. The intended way of going through here is you're supposed to blow a fireball towards it and then go through the ice. But because we already have the brush upgrade, we can just use that upgrade real quick. And we're gonna go out of bounds again. There we go. Again, still just collecting appetizer ingredients. So now we've reached the final bit of out of bounds that we'll be doing here. This out of bounds we can just end by using Vine. Yes, it is actually quite hard on the thumbs to menu this much. So now we got all of the ingredients. And we're gonna finally save the cook. He's been cooking for a while now, so... And he's gonna make the appetizer, and now we have to sound the dinner bell. Now the way you usually do that casually is you walk over to the bell and you smack your head into it. But you can just use power slashes. Now, if you've played this game and you think like, hey, you're actually on the platform, will you just go up instantly? Well, we're gonna go up. That's for sure. But, sadly, we're gonna fall down. It actually doesn't trigger a loading zone, because there is no loading zone there. Because if there was, we could just jump into it quite easily. We have to trigger this cutscene to be able to get to the boss of this dungeon. Who is called Orochi. Is anyone dizzy yet? I sure am. So Orochi has a couple of phases we have to go through. During the first phase we are unable to hurt him. So we just do an ink bullet, which triggers a cutscene. And now we're gonna do some cool strats. So Fire's gonna go first and attack us, and we're gonna position ourselves next to Earth. We got a little cutscene, and we get told what to do. And then we trigger Earth. Now, when Earth is in that state, for some reason the other heads can do things. So, 1, 2. And now we can make 2 heads at the same trunk. Now for some reason, after this cutscene, Fire will always instantly do his attack. So we can just walk over here now, wait for him to continue, for him to do his thing. And because we're standing right next to Earth, while this cutscene plays, Earth will do his animation and will be in that state again, so we can trigger poison. And we can do 2 heads at once again. And now we do the final head. We have to get 3 heads drunk before we can finally start damaging the guy. There we go. Now this part is pretty easy. Remember that we are quite overpowered, so we will just jump around and one-hit these guys. If I can aim and not get hit, that would be great. There we go. Now, Orochi still isn't finished yet. We have to call aid upon the second best character in this game, in my honest opinion. Susano. Good. Will. Oops. Never. Give. Oops, early. In. 2. 2. Oof. Evil. That was kind of close. And that was Orochi. It's a really cool fight to do, in my opinion. So now the game tells you can finally travel to Scion City and stuff like that, but wait, well, we've kind of done that already. So yeah. Now we got a little festival, but festivals take a lot of time, so we're just gonna leave. Not really that much of a party person either, so this is all good. I mean, I love a good party, but not while I'm doing a speedrun. Hello, Miss Sexy Pants. Goodbye, Miss Sexy Pants. That is the guardian spirit of Kamiki Village, by the way. So now that we are done with defeating one of the main reasons why the world is in a horrible state, we're gonna go and travel on for a little bit. Because we have just completed an arc, but we've been setting up a different arc for a while now. So we're gonna complete the other arc. To do that, we have to go over here and open up a fast travel point, which in this case is a mermaid spring. It was up. Bloody idiot. So what you're supposed to do now is you're supposed to go to Queen Himiko and talk to her so you can get a key, so you can go into the area we are currently jumping into. We just skipped all of that. So we're not supposed to be here yet, but we are way early here. But it's already been fixed. That's pretty nice. I wonder who did that. Oh, it's Waka, who tells us that we've been really slow in getting here, and that he was tired of waiting, so he already fixed this place up. Nice of him to do. Saves us some work. It's kinda annoying that we get called slow though, speedrunners. Seriously. I'm slightly offended. Just slightly. Mash X. Circle. Here we're gonna talk to the merchant real quick because we want to buy a Merlin rod. Marlin rod. I always say Merlin rod. It's a Marlin rod. We will be using that pretty soon. So here we go into that cutscene of a grown man getting bullied by kids, because that's totally how things work in the world. And we are going to summon Orca, who is this thing. It's a giant fish. Or mammal. Not sure. I think a mammal, actually. A fish mammal. An aquatic mammal. There we go. Now, Orca allows us to swim over these areas easily. And go over here. Now, the reason why we go over here is so we can get an upgrade to a brush power. Whoa. Well, I've met squids. Does that count? So this is a nice little spring. Nice and sparkly. And we're gonna dump like a lot of money into this. Because if we do that, it gives us the upgrade to Cherry Bomb. And now we can draw 2 Cherry Bombs at once, which we will use for the absolute amazing count of 1 time. It's a very useful brush upgrade. Very useful. It has a proper place in this world. Even casually, I barely used it. Now we're gonna go over to the next island. Right here. Took my time with that one. And we have another spring where we're gonna dump a lot of money into. Which gives us another brush power. Or brush upgrade, rather. This time to Power Slash, which now has become more powerful. Sorry, I was doing something. Now we're gonna go over to that beautiful beach over there. I like beaches. They're so comfy. Oops. So we're gonna talk to this fisherman, and he steals our marlin rod that we spend our hard-earned cash to get. Well, we might as well just help him fish, I guess. I don't know why, really, but game wants us to fish, because we're fishing again. See if we can get a blowfish. Oh, we got a blowfish. World record confirmed. It's a bit of a meme in the Okami community that if you get a blowfish, you'll have world record. Now we're gonna catch this marlin. It's a little bit harder than other fishes. That was a really good marlin. I got a really good RNG on him. That was really nice. Now we're gonna make it night on Orca. Now what this does is that it makes it night, but it doesn't play the it is becoming night cutscene yet. That happens only when I go off of Orca, like this. Which allows me to just simply mash the button and quickly skip the cutscene before it even gets a chance to play properly. So the thing about KTs that I haven't talked about yet is that you can actually not do normal KTs while you're above water. You can only do liquid KTs. However, you can use Orca as a platform, because Orca counts as ground, to do normal KTs. It's pretty useful. So this is a giant constellation. And we're gonna use wind on Earth to make it spin. That makes total sense, right? There's no weird thing about that. See if I can get Tass Orca. Oh, whoa, we got Tass Orca! That shouldn't have worked. Okay, nice. So I kind of remembered where I put Orca, and that allowed me to do that. That was really close. So this is the Dragon Palace. It's a beautiful place, if you ask me. Now you're supposed to go inside and talk to Queen Otohime, but it's a very long, boring cutscene. So we're just gonna jump out of bounds and go to the place we want to go. Which is this little area. And this is why we got Digging Champ a while back. So we can open this digging game. Now this digging game has something specific. Pay attention to the start. I'm gonna do a glitch. There we go. So, when you start a digging game, the game considers you on the ground for like a frame or so. So if you mash X, you can actually jump straight out of the gate and skip half of this digging game. What I just did saved about a minute. Was found by some Japanese runners. There we go. And now we wait. And that's the digging game. And this gives us another brush power upgrade, which is from Water Spout, and it's called Fountain. What this allows us to do is to use mermaid springs without using mermaid coins. It's a little faster as well to do that. So now that we're done over there, we're going to go to the other side. So to do that, we're going to go out of bounds again. Please. And we're gonna jump into what is called the water dragon. Now the water dragon is a very long snake. But here he's only like a little mouth. Nice. And we basically just jumped into his mouth. And now we are inside of the water dragon. Which is a very annoying place if you just to go through quickly. So here we grab the key. Go over here. Nice. Actually messed that up during my practice run yesterday. It's kind of bad. I'm gonna drop the key again because it's a fun little thing to do. Because it just always appears back into your mouth, like this. So the way you're supposed to do this section is you need to go to the right and release some stomach acid and water spout that into that bowl over there. However, the programmers were kind of lazy, and the way they did it is that it's not that you're specifically using the stomach acid, but you're using water spout on the orb. So you can just use water spout like that to free the bowl, or the orb, which we'll be needing to get out of this place again. And we get a fight against the tube foxes, which we will cheese, because we like cheese. Cheese is good. It's tasty. Could go for some cheese right now, actually. Whoops, I should be charging speed right now. I went for a drink. So now we kind of killed the water dragon, sorta, maybe, accidentally. Oops. And this part is purely RNG where the acid falls, and if I get bad RNG, I'm gonna... Yeah, this happens. There was nothing I could do about that. That was completely RNG. And it's not a run killer, but it's really annoying when it happens. These acid drops can be a real pain in the ass, like that. So yeah, we killed the water dragon. It's fine. Guess we better go talk to Queen Otahime and see what she thinks of it. Wow, I lost speed, right? So, in the cutscene we just skipped, we get shown that Boob Lady, or Rao, is attacked by a giant enemy. And, of course, being the gallant man that we are going to, or the gallant men that we are, we're going to save her. So we're gonna go quickly to her. There's actually one little neat thing that I'm going to show off to you guys. There is another little thing you can do with karmic transformers. It's really, really funny. So I'm gonna grab a horse over here. It doesn't save any time or whatever, I'm just going to show you. And I'm gonna switch a KT and whee! spinning horses. It's a fun little glitch you can do. It's called a telekinetic grab. Now, you know, I have an idea where we can find Boob Lady. I mean Rao. It's a very specific spot. Let's go over here. Wow. I am confirmed the worst at doing that. I think I'm the only runner that actually fails that on a regular basis. So this is, in my opinion, the worst segment in the game. Because there's a lot of unskippable cutscenes that take a long time. And it's just, it sucks the pace out of the run a little bit. Guess it's a nice rest moment, but it's boring. Excuse me. There we go. He saves straight through that, so that's nice. So we're gonna go into Sunken Ship right here, which is quite a spoopy place. We like to call it Spoopy Ship as well. You can hear it by the music that it's a spoopy place. So yeah, Boob Lady was being attacked. Ah, hey, hello Boob Lady, how are you doing? That is a power slash. So there's this cool little mechanic with these slips that you can exercise demons with. And I messed up. You can actually skip having to do all three, but I didn't go far enough to the left. So this is Sunken Ship. The mechanic in this place is that you can flood the entire place and then lower, like, get rid of the water again. That's kind of how this dungeon works, but we can just skip all of that by jumping over here. Skipping doing just about every single... Skipping just about the entirety of Sunken Ship is actually also possible in New Game. But you have to do a very specific jump for that. Okay, nice. Thought I failed that, actually. Now I'm gonna go into the storeroom of the ship. And be careful guys, there's spoopiness coming up. There is a giant skull on my screen. Do not worry. Do not adjust your TV set. What you are seeing is correct. And here we get the Lucky Mallet. Now what the Lucky Mallet does, it allows us to shrink. Not at will, but only at certain parts of the game. And that's all we really came for. So remember a while back we killed the water dragon. Now you'll see that we really did sequence break the hell out of this game. Hello water dragon, I see that you're doing fine again. We're gonna jump into his mouth. This time it pushes us all the way over here. It's faster than trying to stay alive. However, if you're going for the platinum trophy, I do suggest not being eaten by the dragon. Spoilers. So now we're finally going to the place where Boob Lady was attacked. Which is right around here. And that is the ghost of Boob Lady. But we just met her. Interesting, we got ourselves a thing here. Now if you pay attention to the right real quick, there's the body of Boob Lady. So Boob Lady has been dead all along, because it's like a skeleton and everything. But then, who is Boob Lady? It's a mystery. It's a mystery that I'll have to wait for another 5 minutes or so, because we're gonna not do that yet. Instead we're gonna do some very annoying KTs here. Which are basically blind KTs. Nice, that was good. That was actually really solid. And we're gonna go over here to the Emperor's Palace. Now remember that the Emperor is sick. So we're gonna try and help him out right now. And to do that we're gonna do a very interesting little, well, could call it a glitch, I guess. So keep your eyes peeled because it'll be over before you know it. I'll explain what happens right after I do it. Okay, so we're doing it right now. That was kind of bad. There we go. First try. So, what just happened? That pot is already loaded when you enter this area. And, for some reason, the game designers made it so that you can power slash it from just about everywhere. So, by going to the exact right angle and doing the right power slash, you can actually, from the very moment you enter this area, open that pot, and it allows you to get another brush power, which is called Veil of Mist, which slows down the world. It's actually very finicky, and the fact that I got it first try is really nice. I didn't expect to get it first try. Now again, we're gonna use the fact that interior areas are below exterior areas to do something cool right here. So there you can actually see the fact that the pot is already loaded. So here we're gonna drop down, but we also need to travel forward a lot. Now what you've been seeing me do is called buffered KTs, where I buffer a single frame to see if I've actually gotten the KT. But I don't actually need to do that at all. It is simply a check to see if I got the KT. Now because we need to drop here anyways, I'm not gonna buffer my KTs, because you can keep height a lot easier with buffered KTs than with unbuffered KTs. So every time I fill a KT, it doesn't really matter, I'll just drop a little bit, which is just completely fine. Ooh, nice fan lag. It does kind of mess up with the timing in my head though. So remember that when we started this, we were outside. Now we are inside of the Emperor. It's quite an interesting place if you ask me. Now the reason why the city has been like called in this giant mist is caused by this guy. He's called Blight. And that was Blight. It's a very difficult fight to do. Now we're gonna do the best movement technique in the game, the Emperor movement tech. So the way you're supposed to go is like hold and it does this, but if you redo it, you get this movement and it's actually faster. And now we're gonna free Kaguya real quick. So here we are going to buy a Traveler's Charm. We'll be using it a little bit later on. For now we're just gonna keep it. We just buy it right now because the menu auto-sorts. And it gets kind of in the way if we bought it earlier, if we got it earlier, so. And we go into that menu anyways. So now that we've cleared out the mist in Scion City, we're finally gonna go talk to Queen Himiko. The game actually puts us back inside because it thinks that we're trying to go outside, but we were already outside, so. Now the way you're supposed to do this, you're supposed to go with Kaguya and like the lady we just saved, and get the fire tablet. Because with the fire tablet, we can go swim through this lava. Luckily, however, we have this really cool glitch called the KT glitch, which apparently also works above lava, not just water. So that's nice. So we don't need to get the fire tablet at all. Now remember that Boob Lady was dead. This is evil Boob Lady. She is actually called Ninetales, who is the Dark Lord and the final enemy of this area. So I guess we better just go kill her then. One, two, three. There's actually a cutscene over there that I don't want to hit because if I hit that cutscene, it'll stop me dead in my tracks and make me fall down into the lava, and I'll have to do the jumps all over again. It's very obnoxious. And I did not pull a Kai, so we're good. So here we use Mist to go past these guards. Spoilers? Oh, I'm sorry I'm spoiling this game. So a little while back, we picked up a Holy Bone, which allows us to get a thing, which is actually annoying. There we go. It heals you for 3 health if you use it, but it's kind of in the way of our menu, so we will sell it right here. It saves like no time at all if you don't sell it. If you sell it, it doesn't save that particularly much time, but it makes your menuing a lot easier to deal with. Go. Oh, that was actually a lot closer than it's supposed to go. Oops. So now we're gonna go over to the lair of the oh good. We're gonna go over to the lair of the Dark Lord. And we're gonna skip just about half of Oni Island by going over here. And we're now out of bounds. This part is very annoying because slopes are very annoying to deal with. Because you just slide off. What I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to do what's called green hopping by jumping as early as the moment I land. Basically. I have like no momentum right now. I need to redo my momentum. There we go. And by doing that, I can save a lot of height. Oh, I'm way higher than I'm supposed to. Oops. There we go. So by going out of bounds here, we can go to this statue, which we will restore to get our next brush power, which is called Thunderstorm. Now usually during this section I play Thunderstruck from AC/DC, but so in Only Island, just like in Moon Cave, why did I think I had speed? Whatever. The entire dungeon is on the same map, so we can just simply go out of bounds right here to go into a specific area, which we like to call the 2D section. Because, well, it's 2D. And we use KTs a lot here to skip going through a few puzzles. You're actually supposed to have a certain brush power to go through here, but we don't have that one yet. We will be getting that a little later on. Just fall back down here. Oh, damn. So here, I can just mess up like about 2 times. Doesn't really matter. Because we have to wait here for a cycle anyways. I'm gonna try and one cycle these discs. It's possible, but it's a little hard. Yeah, okay, I messed it up. This is still pretty fast though. It's a little hard to explain where I'm going, but this area is just like the Moon Cave, where we have to beat the entire thing to be able to get out. You can actually, there is actually a way. I lost speed, didn't I? Speed, right. There is actually a way of getting out of here, but apparently it either soft locks or it's really obnoxious. I'm not sure. Darkness knows more about this, and he'll be saying why in chat. I always forget it. So instead we just kind of beat the final boss, beat the boss of this dungeon. So Ninetales is a bit of a bit narcissistic, and she will basically she thinks herself as one of the brush gods, so we have to summon her using a constellation. So in this fight, I'm at first you first hurt her, then do a thunderstorm on her sword. She splits up, and you look for first the fat one, and then you look for the wow, nice brush work. And then you look for the old one right here, because the fat one and the old one have more health than the other ones and won't die from a single slip. So you have to look at them real quick. And now we just mash for the beads and finish her off if we get lucky. And that was Ninetales. Now you might remember that just about half an hour ago, 20 minutes ago, we got ourselves a Marlin. Now we're finally going to use that Marlin. I'm going to go over here into this fish restaurant, which is run by cat people. And they will prepare us a dish. And by preparing said dish, we will gain an upgrade to a brush power, which is Whirlwind, which is an upgrade to Gilstorm. Now for some reason, the cutscene of you getting the brush power from the brush god doesn't play. But we know we got the brush power. Don't worry about it, we got the brush power. And now we're gonna travel out to another section. Okay, still restored speed. That was nice. So I'm gonna go back onto Orca here. Hello, Orca. We missed you. And we're gonna go over to that giant tower you see over there. It's called Catcall Tower. As you can probably hear. So here we do a little bit of risky strat. Again, remember, I can't KT above water, but I can KT above Orca. If I accidentally am late on my press and do this dash, I have to redo it, and I have to do 2 KTs up, so... And that loses me a little bit of time. There we go. And now we're in... So this is Catcall Tower. It's really high, and we need to travel all the way to the top. So the way Catcall Tower works is that you press X to stick onto the wall, and then you press X again to jump off. So you basically like double tap X real quick whenever you're close to the wall. And by jumping like off backwards, you can do a double jump, which is slightly faster than doing single jumps. Well, slightly, it's a lot faster. bad. Okay, nice. So I didn't land partway through at any point, and what that does is it spawns this chest, which is an empty chest. So in that chest is supposed to be a stray bead, but we already collected those in our all of those in the new game playthrough we did to set up this new game plus file. So we just get an empty chest. It's actually not intended for that to happen, but it's pretty useful in plat percent that it does happen like that. Also, my thumb is officially broken right now. It hurts. It actually does hurt a bit from all those presses. Ah. And this gives us another brush power, which is called Catwalk. Now what Catwalk does is it allows us to draw a line from statues like that and get those paw prints you saw on the entire tower on any other wall, and it is not really useful for us at all. We have this cool infinite jump glitch that allows us to do whatever. Oh, I do want to go over here, please. So now we're going to go back to Shinshu Field real quick, because we still have to clear a bunch of things. So we're going to jump over here. And we're going to go talk to this postman right here who is having trouble. And we're going to give him the Traveler's Charm that we bought a while back. And by doing that, we can race him. So we're gonna race him now. So the way the race works is we simply have to catch up to him and bonk into him real quick. And by switching day and night a bunch, we basically reset his position and we can race again. You actually have to reload the guy before you can race again. So in subsequent races, he will throw these weird sea urchins behind him, or whatever they are. These balls, these spiked balls. And if you hit them, you will lose speed and not really get hurt, but you will just stop in your tracks. So you want to avoid those, like this. And by doing that mini game, we get the gimmick gear. Now the gimmick gear we need to use, we're gonna use to get a brush power upgrade. Like very, very soon. Ah damn, failed the jumps. Go. There we go. So this is the grave of Queen Himiko, who died a while back. And by cleaning the stones, we get Deluge, which is a beautiful word to say if you ask me. And it is an upgrade to the water spout ability that allows us to make it rain. It's not a very useful brush power. You use it in plat percent to get a stray bead, and that's about it. Nice. So we jumped over here and give this guy, whoops, a bonk apparently. We give this guy the gimmick gear, and by doing so he can complete his machine, which allows us to gain the brush power called Thunderbolt, which spawns a giant Thunderbolt. And it also powers up his clock that he made. Because this is a clock tower. We MM now. So now that that's done, we're done with just about this part of the game. We completed another arc, and now we're gonna go over to the final arc of the game. Now to go there, we first have to go to Shinshu Field. By going up here like this, we actually skip a cutscene where it's like, hey, what is this giant thing right here? Maybe we should use Thunderstorm on it. And we do. You're supposed to go all the way to the left and use a catwalk to go up. I see that you get the joke, Darkness. And we're gonna go over to the last area of this game, which is called Kamui, which is a beautiful name if you ask me. Just like deluge is a beautiful word. So we can just restore speed through all of this. So this is Kamui. It's quite a cold place. There's this blizzard going around that is bigger than usual. And there's a cursed zone as well, so we better go and fix that. And what other way to fix that than by going out of bounds? So what you're supposed to do here is you're supposed to go over to that guy over there. We will see him in a bit. There we go. He is an archer, and we need to use Thunderbolt on his arrows to break that giant rock over there to free a tree. And by blooming that, we will release we will repel the cursed zone. Instead, we can just bloom the tree out of bounds while it's still inside of the rock. Because that's how it works. Now what I'm going to do here is jump over here, and we're actually skipping a fight right here. Now in all brushes you can just easily go into that fight, but in any percent that is actually a soft lock, because you don't have the brush power needed to go and finish that fight. So here we are at another spring, and we're gonna dump a lot of money in it again, because we have a lot of money. We can just spend it, just make it rain. And we get the final upgrade of Cherry Bomb, which allows us to draw 3 Cherry Bombs. Yeah. It's quite amazing, isn't it? So this is an entirely big area, and this part of the game has a lot of story to it. But we have this infinite jump glitch that kind of allows us to skip just about the entire end of the story. So don't worry guys, you're not gonna get any spoilers from me. Except about the final part of the game, of course. So this web here, the people are kind of afraid of you because you're new and they don't like newcomers. They think you're a demon, I think, but I'm not sure. Or at least a trespasser. This is a little bit of movement skip. It's not very amazing, but that's nice. There we go. So we just skipped a lot of story just by going here. Well, not that much, I think. Well, we did skip a bunch of the story. So this is a giant arc. Hello, arc. It's pretty big. It's said to be the cause of all the cause of all the demons in the world when it crashed into Kamui. And over there you see the doors to Wauku's shrine, which is the shrine we're going to be going to. So what you're supposed to do right now is you're supposed to talk to a lady that lives here, and she gives you a key to be able to go to another area and do a lot of story things. But we have this infinite jump glitch, so we can just sort of go up here and go out of bounds, and we're just gonna go straight into Wauku Shrines. This is Wauku Shrine. It's quite quaint at the start. So you're supposed to go over the ice, and you can use your brush powers to destroy these cannons. But we just kind of go like this. It's a little exploit, because there's snow over there and you can run faster on snow. So the cannons will never hit you. So, again, as with any dungeon, we're gonna skip just about the entire thing by using KT glitch. These are a bunch of KTs in a row, so I'm gonna be a little quiet. My dash. Nice. Didn't think that actually. There we go. I'm gonna travel up here. These wheels are the bane of my existence. I have fallen through them on more than one occasion. This is a nice little enemy, and he's far away, so my beats are pretty shitty. So here we have this weird apparatus. You're supposed to use mist to slow these down, but you can just use the brush a couple of times because that pauses the game and allows you to see if the wheels are in the right direction. And this gives us the final brush power. We are done collecting brush powers. This brush power is Blizzard, and it allows us to control ice. We can still get wrecked by ice though. Getting the final brush power also gives us a new weapon, but that weapon is worse than the glaive that we have equipped. So we quickly equip back, and what I actually did there was what I like to call a mash KT. Oh my god. That was bad. And I'm gonna go out of bounds to travel back to the start, the completely start of this dungeon. If I could like jump correctly, that would be nice. Okay, good. Nice, there we go. I shouldn't have pressed start because I haven't cleared these cutscenes. So now we only have really two things to do. We have to get one more brush upgrade and then then we have to finish the game. And the final brush upgrade is the last power slash upgrade, so we can cut through even stronger things. Amazing, ain't it? So now we're gonna go to the final area of the game. Now, the way you're supposed to go there is this arc is supposed to float up and there's supposed to be like a rainbow road. Yeah, okay. A rainbow road that goes up there. But the game designers were a little bit lazy and it allowed us to do this. Two, three, 4, 5, 6. There we go. So we just entered the arc, even though the arc is supposed to be up. So the loading zone is already there from the very get-go, so you can just jump into it. So this is the arc. The arc is a interesting place. It is basically a giant boss rush where you fight against 5 of the bosses. We actually don't fight against the sixth boss here, so. First we fight against Blight. We actually, the order of the arc where you go is actually important. Going to the right saves 0.6 seconds over going to the left. I used to go to the left because I thought it was a fun meme. But those 0.6 seconds were too tempting. So here we fight against a different Orochi than the first Orochi that we fought. This one is a little bit stronger, and we can use an expanded version of the Orochi strat that I used the first time. So I really enjoy doing this strat, even though it's kind of obnoxious sometimes. So what we do is we first go to Earth again, make him do that, then we trigger Poison, and then we actually go to Light, which also can trigger now. And we get 3 hits at the same time. I like my memes, yes I do. On this final water spout, I actually also tried to... I'll just do like that. Tried to hit the bell, because that deals 1 damage, that deals a little bit of damage, and it allows me to use 1 slip rather than 2 slips. So for this second phase, we actually have to use the glaive to hit them 1 by 1, and you can just simply time the hits. You get a little bit unlucky with RNG, with fire sometimes, because the fire falling down is completely RNG, and I'm getting completely hacked. There we go, and that was Orochi. The next fight that we're going to be doing is a fight we've actually skipped doing in the run. It was the Tsuta Runes boss that we didn't fight at all. It's called Spider Queen. Rusty? What is Rusty? What a question. Spider Queen, the way you fight her is you use Vine to Vine specific hooks on the back of her body. Like that one, you can see right there. And that one. You have to do that 3 times, and that will pull her down like that, and you use 2 slips, and she's dead. Left. There we go. I actually know the position of the go away portal every time, the exit portal. So that's pretty cool. So next up we have another boss that we skipped completely. This one is the one from Gil Shrine, where we got Gilstorm, where we let the dogs do all the work. The way you fight him, you use a slip at first, then you use Gilstorm so you can kill him. There we go. Hard fight. I'm actually really bad at this fight. I do it very slowly, usually. So now we fight against Ninetales again, and we do the same thing as previous time. We just hit her once, electrocute her, go for the fat one, use a slip, and do that all over again, except this time we look for the old one. We're bullies, to be honest. This time, however, I'm using a slip rather than just beats, because if you time the beats incorrectly, she will jump away from you and you will lose a bunch of time. It's kind of annoying. And now that we're done with our little boss rush of the arc, we are going to the final boss of the game. Hoo-hoo-hoo. No, we're not on PB pace at all. I'm currently about 5 minutes behind. So, this is Yami. Yami is, it's a amazingly designed boss. It's one of the best bosses I've ever come across, and I cry every time because we cheesed the fuck out of this fight. And yes, that was an F-bomb, but it is an F-bomb I am willing to take. Because it is, it is such a cheesy fight. I cry every time. A little bit more damage, actually, I think. So the way this boss has 5 phases. We just killed the first phase quite easily. This is the second phase. Almost all of his health is already gone. This boss is basically an auto-scroller right now. We just wait for him to give us our burst powers back, because at the start of this fight we lost all of our burst powers, and now we're trying to get it back one by one. But yeah. We just wait. Like, he has no health right now, but he's still alive. And that's that phase. And now we're gonna do, this phase is even amazing. Is even more amazing. It's the best phase ever. We use 5 slips in a row, and that way we have rigged the slots. FF7 ain't got nothing on us. So now we just wait and play slots that we rigged. There we go. I will stress every time, this boss fight is amazing. But the way we cheese it is just, it's an auto-scroller. It's basically an auto-scroller. And it makes me sad. And we're done with this phase, so we use another slip, and He dies. So now we're gonna go to the fourth phase. Guess what we're going to do? That's too early. We're gonna use 2 slips. Oh my god. And now, we're gonna use another 2 slips. And guess what we're going to do right now? Come on, you guys can guess it. We're gonna use 2 slips. Woo! And you know, I do like to change it up a little bit. We're gonna use, this time, we're gonna use 3 slips. Hey. So, get ready on time, by the way. This is the final phase, where it's darkness, and we have to bring sunlight. And time. So the way we go by timing in this game is by RTA, so by in-game time. So I have to skip the cutscene at the end. And this was Okami New Game Plus for Brushes in 2:32 and 8 seconds. That's pretty decent, actually. I'm kind of happy with that. I did a D-Risk run yesterday and it didn't beat estimate, so that was a little bad.
2:32:39 isn't too bad. That's
Yeah.
what the timer says.
Yeah, there is a bunch of lag in the game, so the in-game timer is more correct than the RTA timer, so we go by in-game time. So yeah. I don't know what's up next, so...
Next we've got Super Metroid Hundo, I think. By Wild Anaconda. Yep, Hundo. That was an awesome run, Kinnin.
Thank you for having me.
I'd definitely like to have some more Okami next time we do this. That was awesome to watch.
We'll see.